Hi, I'm Susan Ferguson. I'm the Executive Director here at Prevail. And at Prevail, we typically host a Community Appreciation Breakfast every year in April. Obviously, this year's plans didn't come together like we had hoped or planned. If this was that breakfast in April, I would be sharing a story or a quote that speaks to how impactful all of our volunteers and supporters are in what we do here. This year, I'm sharing a quote from Fred Rogers, who we all know as Mr. Rogers. He said, "We live in a world in which we need to share responsibility. It's easy to say it's not my child, it's not my community, it's not my world, it's not my problem. Then there are those who see the need and respond. I consider those people my heroes." I love this because it's so true. There are so many people who live life as if what's happening around them is not their problem, unless it directly affects them. Well, I can tell you that Prevail would not exist if those were the only people in the world. We are only able to do good work because there are people who see the need and respond. So not only are those people Mr. Rogers' heroes, they're my heroes. So I want to go quickly through the highlights of what would have happened at the Community Appreciation Breakfast if we were able to have it. Each year, we invite all of our elected officials to the Community Appreciation Breakfast, so I want to acknowledge how important they are to us. We know that strong communities prevent violence, and our elected officials are critical in this work. Thank you for being willing to run for office and to serve your community in that way. I also want to thank Prevail's Board of Directors. They are a committed, passionate group of leaders and visionaries, and I appreciate their wisdom and energy as they lead Prevail. And this year, we selected 5 Community Partner Award winners. The purpose of these awards is to recognize and honor these people and organizations that have supported Prevail significantly by volunteering and or contributing throughout the years. These awards are for entities that have been involved with Prevail over a period of time and consistently go above and beyond what is necessary to help Prevail. I want to say a quick word about each one of those award winners. First of all, Brandon Bennett. Brandon is the Director of Noblesville Parks and Recreation, and he 20 years ago came up with an idea to have a bowl-a-thon, a bowl-off between the city of Noblesville and Hamilton County employees, and decided to make that a fundraiser, and those proceeds have benefited Prevail every year for 20 years. So huge thanks to Brandon for that. And over time, that fundraiser has benefited Prevail about $500,000. So huge thanks to Brandon and all he does for the bowl-a-thon and everything else he does for Prevail. Kent Whitten is another one of our Community Partner Award winners. Kent is the leader, founder of Woodland Christmas Club, and that's a club out of Woodland Country Club, and they do some fundraising and then provide Christmas for a number of families in the community, and a huge number of them here at Prevail. So we could not appreciate Kent more and all of his leadership for that group and all that they do for our families here at Prevail. Next is Gaylor Electric. Gaylor has been a huge support to Prevail. We can count on them. They've been the presenting sponsor of our fashion show each year, and just in general, great supporters. They attend our gala, and one thing that Gaylor does is has invited some of our Prevail employees to a Colts tailgate with them. So here in the nonprofit world, we don't often have access to a corporate tailgate. So that's kind of a cool experience for us. So we appreciate Gaylor for that. And then Hare Chevrolet, Hare, another great community supporter. Certainly Prevail is not their only nonprofit that they support, but they are very generous to Prevail and have been a presenting sponsor of our gala for a number of years. And they are just super generous. We love working with Hare. And then finally, Bob Anderson. Bob Anderson is a community member here in Noblesville, is known for being generous, again, to a number of nonprofits, and Prevail is one of those. And we just appreciate Bob so much. Such a kind gentleman who has been very supportive to us over the years. We actually have a room here named in honor of Bob's wife, Maureen. When Maureen passed away a few years ago, we were able to dedicate a room in her honor here at Prevail. So we just appreciate the Andersons so very much. So finally, I want to recognize Prevail volunteers as well. All of our volunteers are our heroes. The hours they provide of their time and talent are a tremendous donation to the agency and to those we serve. Whether they answer phones or help with events, serve on the board, or co-facilitate a support group, they provide an invaluable service. Thank you to all of our volunteers for their service. At the breakfast, we do recognize a Volunteer of the Year, and our staff had the opportunity to nominate their volunteers for a Volunteer of the Year award, and we had some great nominations, and it was just too difficult to choose just one, so we actually have 2 Volunteers of the Year this year, and those are Sharon Kleinman and Jerilynne Welch. And Sharon is actually a former Prevail employee who came back as a volunteer. We have a couple of those where after we've had staff leave the agency to retire or whatever, and then they've come back as volunteers, and we just appreciate them so much. Sharon has been incredibly helpful in doing some tasks that may go unnoticed to a certain extent. She does some data entry and things like that for us, and just truly invaluable, and just love seeing her around the office and being helpful, and just a really great person. So we appreciate her volunteering. And then Jerilynne Welch has been a co-facilitator of our support groups, and again, an instrumental part. That's a huge commitment for our co-facilitators to come every week, and especially for a long-term commitment. So they're really giving up about 4 hours a week to come in and help co-facilitate a group. So we really appreciate Jerilynne doing that. So huge thank you to Sharon and Jerilynne. So I'm super sorry that we were not able to host the Community Appreciation Breakfast this year, but I am glad that we had the opportunity to meet with all of these award winners and share their awards with them. And for anyone watching, we also love working with our community and would welcome any questions. We love giving tours of our facility, and we're always looking for people to get involved. So please get in touch with us if there's any way that we can work together. So we can't do what we do without this amazing community that supports us. So I just want to say a huge thank you. Thank you to our community.